And it's now time for business, and this is how we do it, because it's always brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And as we move on, we're focusing on Ghana's aviation industry, but specifically domestic flights, because the sector, they've begun operations, and threats of coronavirus are real as operators are turning their attention on profits to the ultimate welfare of customers. Now, Africa World Airlines has granted my colleague Charles Aite exclusive access to the strict safety protocol taken from the departure halls through to boarding as he experiences a flight on board Africa World to Takoradi. Here's more in this edition of AM Business.
Restrictions on movement has eased, and already domestic airlines are out for business.
This is Terminal 2 Departures Unit of the Kotoka International Airport. We're here on a particular mission. It's all about COVID-19 and the preparedness of the domestic airline sector as they open up to business. Remember that this is very crucial for them as it's going to test their systems and how prepared they are amidst the coronavirus. Already you could see from the ground the various food stamps that are indicative of social distancing protocol. Already you could see around me how less busy the entire environment is. It even raises questions about the entire anxiety that most travelers are having in these uncertain times. Today is going to be an interesting day. I'm going to be taking a trip aboard the Africa World Airlines plane all the way to their new Takoradi routes to get to know the social distancing protocols they are putting in place. It's going to be myself and my colleague from our sister station, Adum FM. Are you really ready for this trip?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
So what exactly are you hoping to see for yourself?
I'm trying to see that at least all the safety protocols that the President and the WHO have outlined will be in place.
That's great. So already we have our tickets for ourselves and we're ready to board. Come on board, let's see what exactly we're going to find.
We were granted access to the check-in section of Africa World Airlines. Here, passengers maintain their social distance. You will have to show your ID card to the attendant at a distance as they complete pre-departure formalities. For domestic airlines like Africa World Airlines, now is the time to win back the confidence of passengers. Profits are an afterthought. Shawn Mendes is the Chief Executive Officer of Africa World Airlines.
We put in place a number of protocols. In fact, these are industry-leading protocols at various steps of the entire process, from when you arrive at the airport, where your temperature will be screened, where you will be ensured that you're wearing face masks, hand sanitizers available at all various points. Your check-in process is contactless, where our staff do not come in contact with your documents. Your check-in baggage is disinfected prior to loading on the aircraft. You go through a contactless security procedure and boarding. All passengers have their hands sanitized before boarding the aircraft. Crew maintain, again, social distance from the passengers. We have not allocated we ensure that no passengers have another adult sitting next to them. There are exceptions for children. Similarly, your bags are disinfected when they arrive at the destination. All in all, we've done everything we can to ensure that every step that we can take to ensure that passengers are flying safely with us has been taken.
So where do you see this in the short to medium term?
I think in the short term it's important that we get the confidence of the traveling public back. Aviation is the safest form of transport in Ghana, bar none.
Data from the Ghana Airport Company Limited show that since May 1, passenger turnout from Accra to the two major domestic destinations of Kumasi and Tamale spiked from nearly 1,850 travelers per week to almost 2,800 passengers per week. Shawn Mendes says the attention of passengers have now shifted from the kind of meals they would have to be served on board to how many times the plane they board gets disinfected.
I think the main thing which has changed as a result of coronavirus in terms of operational procedures and what we've learned from that is that passengers now will place a much bigger emphasis on the safety and sanitary conditions than they did before. In the past, you would often get passengers who focused more on, oh, what kind of food or snacks or drinks are available on board. Today, the question is more along the lines of, oh, when did you last clean the plane? You know, do you have extra sanitizer I can use on my hands and things like that? So I think people's priorities have shifted, and obviously, as a service provider, we have to be able to change our operations to be able to deal with what's good both for the passenger as well as for society as a whole.
Making it to the boarding room, I see the departure hall of Terminal 2, which houses domestic flights with less activity. Basic security checks were done, after which we inched next to board the flight.
Here at the boarding room, you could see a very different arrangement in sitting. Passengers here are not sitting close to each other. They've spaced out actually. When you get to this particular point, for example, you can see this sticker here, please do not sit here. It's part of the measures that Africa World Airlines, and in fact the entire Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, is putting in place to ensure the social distancing protocols are observed. This is the first of it. We get to see the various steps that they've taken as well to ensure the safety of most of the passengers here.
Africa World Airlines takes up to 70% of Ghana's domestic airline industry. Management of the Ghana Airport Company Limited has initiated a number of mandatory COVID-19 safety protocols, such as wearing of face masks, the use of hand sanitizers, as well as physical distancing for travelers and the airlines to strictly observe. The various regulatory authorities, such as the Ghana Airport Company Limited, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and the Ghana Health Service, were all on duty to enforce the laid down procedures and protocols. After passengers are screened, they are shuttled by these two coaches to the airplane. These buses are not crowded. Seating capacity has been dropped by half. Few minutes to take off, these passengers are off to Takoradi in 40 minutes.
One interesting arrangement you notice in this particular plane has to do with the seating arrangements and the branded upholstery on the seats. Now, this particular seat has no branded upholstery except for this one. It simply means that this seat is out of service. Passengers cannot board this seat. And it's all part of measures to ensure distancing among passengers in this particular plane.
Seating arrangement all speak to social distancing measures. In fact, Africa World Airlines has reduced capacity from 50 to 24 passengers, less than half of its normal capacity. Touching down at the Takoradi Airport, a second phase of disinfection begins.
So for the smaller flights, it takes 10 to 15 minutes to get the plane ready for the other passengers leaving. And then at the end of the day, so before the flight loads in the morning or whatever time the schedule is, the whole plane is disinfected, sprayed, and then cleaned up. So when they come, they pick the passengers, it's cleaned again before they take the passengers. Then at the end of the day, total or thorough disinfection is done again for it.
But interestingly, don't you think others could be concerned about how this could affect the timing? It's going to delay flights.
Yes, that's why we try as much as possible to do it quickly. Yeah, so the staff are enough to make sure that things are hurried up.
Okay, so you've come, you are supervising this whole exercise. How is it going so far?
Yeah, so far I think they are doing well. Yes, the staff are quick on their feet and they make sure that no flight is delayed unduly.
This is a new normal. These officials are disinfecting every part of the plane, mostly used by passengers. Window slides, seat handles, everywhere.
Yeah, I feel very, very comfortable. Yeah, very safe. Yeah.
Before COVID-19, when you heard flights were opening, were you worried?
No, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried because I knew they would practice the social distance, so I wasn't. In fact, I was happy.
Yeah. Africa World, they did their best from boarding to I mean, from checking to now, we're observing the safety protocols. So yes, I would say thumbs up, Africa World.
Any advice to prospective passengers out there who might feel concerned boarding the flight during this time?
Yeah, the skepticism is all over, right? It's just about what the president said. It's a matter of us taking our own personal health into our own hands and ensure we'll observe the protocols he outlined.
The future of air travel is bleak as the International Air Transport Association IATA in its financial outlook for the global air transport industry showed that airlines are expected to lose $84 billion in 2021. Revenues will fall by 50% to $419 billion in 2020 from the expected $838 billion in 2019.
But there are questions in place. What happens if this becomes the norm for the next few years? How could these domestic airlines survive the pressure of having to spend more and get little in return? Are they going to seek specific incentives from government, or will the entire business be crumbling in no particular time? I'm Charles Ayete reporting for Joy Business.
What a great ride. I envy Charles. Should have been in the flight. Well, what a way it is. But it also means that gradually domestic airlines are bouncing back, and that's the new normal way of life. We're hoping that all of us would adhere to these protocols, just like the management of Africa World are doing to make sure they keep their customers safe. And talking about customers, we also do love you, our loyal viewers, and that's why we always want to bring you some great packages. And right here this morning, we're going to have an interaction with the Electoral Commission. We're going to look at how it is with the first day of the exercise and move on other discussions. It will be up next, but we have that conversation with the sports team, and we want to look at the state of our football league, which now has been called off 2019-2020, and how we also need to look forward to. But don't forget, Captain Polo is trending with his son, the new picture that she took, which has been trending, receiving great criticism. We'll speak to Bright Apia, Executive Director for Child Rights International, and other advocates right here on the show. But let's run this by you. Golden Figure Industries Limited is a fast-growing manufacturing company processing fruit into quality organic cosmetic products. And I tell you, they also do have cleaning and disinfectant products produced right here in Ghana under certified FDA conditions. They also do have in stock GF hand sanitizers, GF rubbing alcohol, GF Jettle antiseptic, GF multi-purpose liquid soap, GF hand washing soap, GF antiseptic cleaner, GF multi-purpose glass cleaner, and they are located at Giselle Estate, SCC, just on the Wager Road, DVLA. So make sure you contact them on the following lines, and these are the lines: 0546 27 4070 or 0546 27 3990. They also have a reliable landline, and that is 03029 57 950. Well, we have to take a break. When we come back, all these discussions right here for you.